In 2013, our team, the climate team at the EIB, heard about short-lived climate pollutants and their potential to mitigate at the same time near-term global warming and air pollution. And when we talked about this potential to our VP, he was quite compelled about this case, and he agreed very quickly to join a coalition called the Climate and Clean Air Coalition, which addresses these substances, to join it as a partner. So there are four main so-called short-lived climate pollutants. They are methane, ground-level ozone, hydrofluorocarbons, and black carbon.
So let's take methane for example. Can you tell me about the characteristics that make it a threatening pollutant?
Yes. So methane has a much stronger warming potential than CO2, and it's also a precursor to something that turns into ground-level ozone, which has a negative impact on our air quality and a negative impact on human health and ecosystems.
And it really is a near-term threat.
Exactly. It only stays relatively briefly in comparison to CO2 in the atmosphere.
Okay. And what's the report telling you? What's come out of it?
So we explored three main avenues. First of all, we wanted to know whether our standards and criteria take into account SLCPs.
Yeah.
So in our project appraisal, are we looking at these substances? Secondly, we wanted to know what is the impact of the projects we lend to on SLCPs. And thirdly, we wanted to see, is there more that we can do to support the mitigation of SLCPs? What did we find? Criteria and standards might sound quite dry and boring at first, but actually they are of utmost importance to an institution like ours, because criteria and standards steer the lending that we do in a certain direction and away from another direction.
So it's creating a framework for how you invest.
How we lend and how we invest. Whether we put a price on certain pollutants or exactly on CO2. And here the news is very good. We found that largely all of the SLCPs are already taken into account into our criteria and standards today. We found one small loophole, which was black carbon, which today is already taken into account in the cost-benefit analysis that we do for energy projects, but not yet into the cost-benefit analysis. So when we analyze the projects from an economic viewpoint and taking into account the externalities of some pollutants, not in the transport sector. So what we are going to do is that our transport team is now looking at how we can take black carbon also into account in the cost-benefit analysis for their projects.
Okay.
So what we think who this report may be most useful to is peer institutions. Institutions that haven't looked at SLCPs yet and want to see what we did, where to start the analysis, what we found, maybe look especially in these areas as well. So this is where we think the report can make a contribution. To us, the report was also extremely useful as an awareness-raising activity within the bank and raise awareness for the potential that short-lived climate pollutants offer to reduce near-term climate change and reduce air pollution, which to me is quite a compelling case. If you look around here in Marrakesh, you see that people might have other more immediate concerns than climate change. And what is so compelling about short-lived climate pollutants is that here they can also contribute to improving air quality and increasing life quality in a country like where we are in Morocco, where you can actually feel the air is a bit polluted. When we looked at the impact our lending has on SLCP emissions, we wanted to see where do we make the biggest contribution on reducing SLCPs. And we had an idea where this could be, but the report came out with quite a surprise to us. We found that the biggest savings could be made by replacing old leaky gas pipelines, which was something that we didn't expect. But maybe can I just add on the way forward? We think that these kind of replacements will happen for simple economic reasons in the future, but where we think that the bank can make a particular contribution is by preparing waste projects and then cleaning up large dump sites which have emit larger amount of methane, and also they are often burning underneath what you cannot see and emitting again black carbon emissions. And this is an area where we want to do more.
And would this be used as almost like a condition of investing in a project? You would say, well, we have to meet these criteria.
I would rather say it the other way around. If project shows high pollutants or a high number of emissions in this area, we wouldn't finance it, or would put a price on it which would make it unattractive for us to finance it.